Another method of preparation of colloidal solution is peptization. So peptization may be defined as the process of converting a precipitate into colloidal solution by shaking it with dispersion medium in the presence of small amount of electrolyte. So electrolytes are actually the supporting elements, or you can say the supporting compounds that help in the intermixing of your precipitate and your solution. How precipitate form? That the molecules, or you can say the particles, whose size is actually large as compared to the colloidal solution particles. So they just get precipitate at the bottom of your solution, entire solution. So what is the method to take it back to the solution and form a colloid? So that is peptization. So when we start shaking it, but sometimes this thing happened that will not be able to convert it into colloidal solution. Every time you rest the test tube, they will come back to their precipitate state. But when you add electrolyte, what happened? The electrolyte promote the reaction, and at that time the reaction occur and your precipitate will come into the colloidal solution state. It will mix with the dispersion medium and form a colloid, right? So the electrolyte used for this purpose is called peptizing agent. So the electrolyte which we were adding to make the colloidal solution, that is known as the peptizing agent. This method is applied generally to convert a freshly prepared precipitate in a colloidal solution. This method can only apply only when freshly prepared precipitate is there. Whenever a freshly prepared precipitate is there. Why? Because it did not get any rest time after forming in the precipitation. So if you give the rest time, maybe it may solidify, maybe the molecules bind together with bond or some force of attraction. Okay, so that is why this method will be applied as soon as the colloidal solution will precipitate at the bottom. You add the electrolyte and start shaking it. It will back directly back into the dispersion phase and make the colloidal solution. Okay, during peptization, the precipitate absorbs one of the ion of the electrolyte on its surface. This caused the development of positive or negative charge on the precipitate, which ultimately break up into small particles of the size of the colloid. So what actually the electrolyte does? The precipitate get absorb one of the ion of electrolyte. For example, we are adding electrolyte and these are the chemical compounds only. Okay, so precipitate, it get absorb one ion of the electrolyte surface. Okay, and that help in development of positive and negative charges. And when two charges are there, it helps in breaking off that large particle into the small one. Okay, up to the size of a colloid, and that ultimately makes the colloid solution at that time. All right. Purification of colloidal solutions. So how you can purify these colloidal solutions? For example, I have make a colloidal solution, or some solutions are occur naturally in the atmosphere. Okay, so how you can purify them? Colloidal solution, when prepared, generally contain excessive amount of electrolytes and some other soluble impurities. Colloidal solution is a mixture of electrolyte and some other impurities. While the presence of traces of electrolyte is essential for the stability of colloidal solution, larger quantities coagulate it. So what happens if you add a small amount of electrolyte? If means traces of electrolyte are there, it helps in the formation of colloidal. It helps in the stability of colloidal solution. But if you add it in excessive quantity, so what happens? Coagulation takes place. And what is coagulation means? Solidification. Your blood coagulate. When a wound is there, your blood coagulate and it form a solid like layer over your wound. So what happened? That wound is covered by a solid layer, and that is the coagulation of blood. Something happened. This same thing happened inside the test tube only. If you add the colloidal solution in excess, so what happened? It's just coagulate. It's just solidify. It is therefore necessary to reduce the concentration of these soluble impurities of a Recursive minimum, the process used for reducing the amount of impurities to requisite sorry requisites minimum is known as the purification of colloid. So whenever when you want to reduce the impurities and take it to the minimum, that is that process is known as what? The means the when you can simplify this thing, that there is a simple concentration of everything, means electrolyte and some other insoluble impurities in the colloidal solution, and when you separate it, when you reduce the concentration of these insoluble impurities, what happens? They it's just become lighter and your colloidal solution will separate out. So when you take this to a minimum level at which your colloidal solution will remain like that only, and the excessive impurities will wash away, or you can say segregate away, that is known as a perfect colloidal solution. For example, this is a colloid in the bottle. Okay, this is a dialysing membrane. Okay, dialysis process I think you have learned in 10th class. This is water and a crystalloid, and these are the salt particles and colloid here. Okay, so this is a dialysis process. The people whose kidney does not work, does not function, it is not able to purify your blood. At that time, dialysis process is there. So in that process, they artificially dilute your blood. They purify your blood actually. They remove the excessive concentration of ions and water from your blood and make you and purify your blood. So you can say the purification of blood is done by kidney in our body. But when kidney doesn't work, they use another process that is known as the dialysis. Okay, this is the entire process which in which we used to separate out the impurities, the ions, and extra water from the blood and make it purified. Okay, so it is the process of removing dissolved substance from a colloidal solution by the means of diffusion through a suitable membrane. Suitable membrane is like there is a membrane which allow only the impurities, or you can say the specific substances like dissolved iron in water only. They don't allow this other thing to come out of your blood. Your blood is a colloidal solution. RBCs are there, right? And WBCs are there, plasma, blood plasma is there, and so many things are there which are in your blood, which just circulate in your body. Gases are there, all right. So from that membrane only the water and some dissolved iron in the water can come out of your blood. No other thing will come out. So this is the process of diffusion through a suitable membrane, or you can say a selectively permeable membrane or semi permeable membrane. There are different names of this. Since particles, ions, or small molecules, means particles means ion or small molecules in a true solution can pass through the element membrane, bladder, and parchment paper. So there are, what are these particles? These are small ion, or you can say the small molecules or ions. They can only pass through this semi-permeable membrane. This membrane means your semi-permeable membrane or the parchment paper. This is also similar to the semi-permeable membrane. Artificially, we used to use the parchment paper to just for to diffuse the things to pass, so that we can do your osmosis process or dialysis process. Okay, cellophane sheet, but not the colloidal particles. The membrane can be used for dialysis. So you can say this is a cellophane sheet. Cellophane sheet we used to call a simple polythene, but that is not actually a cellophane sheet. That is a polyethylene. And cellophane sheet is a different type of sheet. This is like kind of selectively permeable membrane, or you can say the membrane which allow only selective substances to pass through it. So the apparatus used for this purpose is dialyzer. So this is the apparatus which is known as the dialyzer. Okay, and the membrane which is used is, uh, in the dialyzer, that is known as the dialyzing membrane here, because dialysis takes place here. That is why we used to call it as dialyzing membrane. A bag of suitable membrane containing The colloidal solution is suspended in a vessel through which fresh water is continuously flowing. The molecules and ion diffuses through the membrane into the outer water and pure colloidal solution is left behind. So what happened if I have this solution and I have mixture of water as a dispersion medium and colloidal particles inside the this dialysing chamber. So what happened when you just put it in the water? So what happened, water will move out through that membrane and your pure colloidal solution will left behind. All right. So that makes the, how, that is how you can just separate your purify the colloidal solution. Excessive water will remove out, excessive ions will remove out, and your your pure colloidal solution left behind there inside it. Okay, this is first method, dialysis. This is also used for purification of blood. Electrodialysis. Ordinarily, the process of dialysis is quite slow. It take time because we leave the colloidal solution for a long time so that the particles of water or mixed ions can come out from the colloidal solution and mixed out there with the water. But when we want to do this process at, when we want to increase the speed of this process, then we use the electrical method. That is why this is known as the electrodialysis. This is used to faster the rate of reaction, the faster the rate of diffusion, you can say here. All right, so this is the chamber, same dialysis chamber is there, colloidal solution is there, soil particle, water current is moving. This current is moving from one end to another end. From this we are just entering the water and electrolytes are coming out of from the second end and plus along with the water. Okay, one end is cathode, which is, let's just take two. Electrolysis process contain two electrodes, positive electrode and negative. So one is anode and second one is cathode here. And under the influence of electricity, this process actually affects. So what happened? Ordinarily, the process of dialysis is quite slow. It can be made faster by applying an electric field if the dissolved substance in the impure colloidal solution is only an electrolyte. But this thing happen when we take electrical field only in one condition, because when the impure colloidal solution is only an electrolyte, because this electrolyte is affected by the or attracted by these electrode plates. Otherwise, if we don't have any electrolyte, means which does not have any effect of electrical field on them, it does not feel any force of attraction, any type of force with this electrical field, so we will not be able to apply this field there. Then electrodialysis is not possible. So it can be only possible when the colloidal solution is an electrolyte, because the electrolytes can move towards the positive and negative end. All right, so this process is then named as electrodialysis because we use electricity for the dialysis, and this can be only happen when the colloidal solution is of electrolyte. So the colloidal solution is placed in a bag of suitable membrane. While pure water is taken out, the electrodes are fitted in the compartment. So you can see in the diagram also, these electrodes are fitted in the compartment only, inside the compartment. The ions present in the colloidal solution migrate out to the positively charged electrode. So what happened? If, for example, negative electrolyte is there, so when you just impart, we know this thing that when something is in dissolved state, or electrolytes you can say are in dissolved state, so they just dissociate into positive and negative ions. All right, so when just we apply electrical field, what happens? The negative ion will move towards the positive end and the positive ion will move towards the negative end. This increase the speed of dialysis, because every time you increase the your electricity, every time you increase the electrode potential, what happened? The number of ions which are coming out through this membrane increases, because it will attract the oppositely charged ions the towards itself. Okay, so positive ion will move towards the negative electrode and negative ion will move towards the positive electrode. So this is how we used to do electrodialysis. Ultrafiltration is the process of separating the colloidal particles from the solvent and soluble solute present in the colloidal solution by specially prepared filter which are permeable to all substances except the colloidal particles. So ultrafiltration, this is the type of process in which we use to separate the solvent and solute particles which are present in the colloidal solution. When we make a solution, there is two. We used to mix two things: solvent and solute. Solute we mix in the solvent, and when you want to filter it, when you want to the separate it, why at that time we used to use a special type of filter which is permeable to all substances except the colloidal particles. So what happens? Colloidal particles will collect over the filter and your entire solution will get out, pass through the selectively permeable, this special type of filter which allow only the liquid part, the sub, you can say the dispersion medium only, or the solvent phase only. Your solute phase will be there on the top of the filter. It will not get filter out. Colloidal particles can pass through the ordinary filter paper because the pores are too large. And when we use the normal filter paper, which we used to see in our laboratory, okay, so why we can't use these filters? Because the pores present inside these filters is very large, through which your colloidal particles can easily pass. Okay, so you'll not be able to get the pure colloidal particles separate and your solvent separate from the solution. However, the pores of filter prepared paper can be reduced in size by impregnating with the colloidal solution to stop the flow of colloidal particles. The usual um, colloidation collodion is a 4% solution of nitrocellulose in a mixture of alcohol and ether. How you can reduce the size? By applying, by applying that paper in the collodion solution, and which stops the flow of colloidal particles ultimately. And that colloidal solution contains what? 4% of nitrocellulose in a mixture of alcohol and ether. If you add your normal filter into this solution, collodion solution, what happened? It will convert into a selectively permeable filter, which will not allow the colloidal particles to pass through it, as it reduces the size, or you can say the pore size, which are present in normal filter. An ultrafilter paper may be prepared by soaking the filter paper in collodion solution, hardening by formaldehyde, and then finally dry. After mixing, after just soaking this paper in the collodion solution, we just put this paper again in the formaldehyde, and what happened, then leave it for drying. Okay, after hardening, the pores become small and your entire papers, material become hard, which will not wet up easily, and the pores become the pores become as a uh, restriction for the movement of colloidal size and the colloidal particles to pass through it. Okay, but by using the ultrafilter paper, the colloidal particles are separated from rest of the material. Ultrafiltration is a slow process. So you can separate out your colloidal particles from rest of your material by using this process, and this is a very slow process, because when you reduces the size of the pores of the filter paper, what happened? It will take time to pass through it. Your entire solution require extra time to pass through these small, very minute pores. Okay, to speed up the process, pressure and suction is applied. When you want to do it on faster rate, you have to apply the suction process, or you can apply the pressure to increase this process. The colloidal particles left on the ultrafilter paper are then stirring with fresh dispersion medium solvent to get pure colloidal solution. If you want to, the colloidal particles which are left over up on the paper, then you stir with the fresh dispersion medium or solvent, you stir it with that, and this solvent will pass through that paper and you will get your pure colloidal solution. All right.